Okay, so outside or on the back side of the cafeteria, we have the counselor's office. The counselor's office stays locked because there is secure material inside, so I'm not able to go inside this office. However, this is where we conduct our ARD meetings. We have our LPAC meetings in here. If a student needs to see the counselor for whatever reason, or if parents want to come, or an outside counselor, there's a table in here. We're able to sit down and collaborate and chit chat about the student and see what kind of needs or what we need to do for that student. Okay, and down here, this is our DAEP side. This is our math and social studies classroom. As you can see, each student sits at a carrel. They are not allowed to talk to anybody. They sit here for their 8 hours. They do their work online. They do their work by 6 weeks versus on the Malcolm side, we do it by the whole semester. And each student is on a different level. They could be from different school. We just have to keep up with it, with whatever they're working on. Okay, and then the next room here is our other DAEP class for high school. And this is going to be our English class. Once again, they sit in a carrel. They have their work they have to do lined out. These two classes switch. So they have a morning class with the English teacher, and then that class with the math, and they switch in the afternoons. That way they can get some help for whatever subject that they might be working on. Okay, moving on. This office right here is for our campus officer. He stays here in campus full time. Whenever we need anything, if a situation arises, he's here. He has video cameras in his in his office. Each classroom in the building has a camera, and so they're constantly, everything's being monitored just to make sure that we can have the backup that we need and the monitorization that we need in case the situation arises and it's a kid said this, a kid said that, whatever it might be. So that's his job, and if a situation comes up or if he needs to intervene or talk with a student or investigate something that might have happened, then that's what he does. Okay, so down here we have our junior high DAEP. So this is going to be your 7th and 8th grade kids that have been expelled from their campus. Once again, we have cubicles that they sit in. I know a lot of times they do group work sitting at tables because they're younger and they need a little bit more interaction. So the teacher will stand up front, have a lesson with them and teach them, and the students can work collaboratively to learn the material better. Okay, moving on. Okay, our next classroom is the other DAEP junior high teacher for 7th and 8th grade. Once again, we have the carrels in the back where the kids sit most of the time. They do have some tables where they do group work or individualized instruction. Sometimes they'll sit at their desk and work together collaboratively when the teacher teaching a lesson. So, okay, moving on. Our building assistant principal is Mr. Durham. This is his office. He is the main one that sets in with the intake for DAEP students. So he kind of runs this side, I guess you would say. If a situation arises, they call him, or if it's serious enough, they'll call Mr. Adams, who's on this side, or Ms. Officer Ram, who's right down here. Okay. So this classroom is going to be another DAEP classroom. This is gonna be Miss Hale. She teaches the sixth grade DAP students. Once again, we have the carrels in here. The kids will sit individually at a computer or at the carrel, or a lot of times, since they're younger, they will sit at the tables and do group work together so they can have more collaboration, and it's just easier learning, better learning for, for the students. And the last classroom we have here is also a DAEP class, and this is for the elementary. So students from kindergarten to 5th grade, they are housed in this room. We have the carrels, just like all the other DAEP classrooms. We have a center table in case the kids want to get together with a teacher and learn some specific material, work together as a group and do more group so they can learn better because they are smaller, and that they need that interaction with the grouping and working together and whatnot. So. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to show you today is going to be our restroom situation. We only have one set of restrooms for the building for students. So on the Malcolm side, we let students go one person at a time out of the classroom. They have to sign out and sign back in. This is just for security reasons and safety in case a situation arises and the student was accounted for or was not accounted for. The county, the DAEP side over here, they have specific restroom times in which they go to the bathroom, and during those times, Malcolm students are not allowed to come to the restroom. That way we don't have any cross paths, any interaction of that nature. And like I said, just to keep the building safe and tighten the security measures. Okay, I believe that's it, and thank you for following along.